Welcome back to another episode of the Breadwinner Energy Podcast. Hello, friends. We are late this week on an episode because I needed this episode to come full circle in my brain before I was ready to put it out into the world. And it has finally done so. So here we are. And I have told you guys multiple times on this podcast that if I don't have something on my mind, I'm not going to force an episode just to force one. It has to come from a place of inspiration and like fully having an episode that I want to put out for the world. And that is something that I have done. And I talked about this a lot that there's a difference between sitting on content ideas, not showing up until something's perfect, versus doing something out of a checklist. There is a happy medium. And so for me, I don't want to just checklist my podcast. I want to make sure that my podcast is good quality content. And also when I allow myself the freedom to have that openness of not posting when it's a checkbox, ideas come to me a lot more naturally. And so that is why we are 2 days late on the podcast. Last week we were a day early. And for me, I feel no shame in that. So in today's episode, before we jump in, I want to talk to you guys about Authority. Enrollment is currently open for Authority, and this is the program to take you from Biz Bestie BS to booked out in your business. And if you're following me on Instagram at it's taydaniels_LLC, I've been talking about this a lot. I've been talking about it a lot in my broadcast channel. If you're not in there, get in there. It's called the Breadwinner Energy Club. And I've been talking a lot about being seen as relatable and doing the whole Biz Bestie as the way that you build a community, the way that you build an audience. And while that can build you an audience and a community, it doesn't always make you money. And inside my program, Authority, this is where you stop leaning into or feeling like you have to lean into being biz besties or leaning into like that relatable mom in order to go sign clients, because that's actually not at all the way to sign clients, right? Can that work for you? Yes, this was literally me. I told a story yesterday on Instagram about how years ago, this wasn't that long ago. I want to say like 2 years ago. I had a client like an ideal dreamy client who had always DM'd me. She always wanted to work with me. She had, I think, DM'd me probably close to like weekly. And it was like, I want to work with you. I can't wait to work with you. Like when I'm ready to invest, you're the room I'm going to be in. Like it was consistent. And I would give her some coaching. I would DM her. I was always like her biz bestie, right? Like I was always the go-to person for her. But then when it came time to invest, she didn't invest with me. She invested with someone else. And I was livid. Like in that moment, I was so mad because I was like, I had spent years DMing back and forth with her, giving to her, giving her value and showing up and giving her the coaching instead of holding the standard for the clients that I'm calling in, holding the standard for the room is that I'm not no longer do I DM or coach someone in the DMs. Don't get me wrong, there's a big difference between having a conversation with someone in the DMs and helping someone come to a decision in a high level way and not truly like coaching them. And I have conversations with people in the DMs. When people reach out, when they're interested, I have a conversation with them. I ask questions to get to know them better or get to know their situation better so that I can make sure this is actually the program for them. But there is no coaching in the DMs, right? There is no back and forth, constantly handhold, none of that. I have decided none of that. I don't even follow up with people anymore. When someone reaches out and they're like interested, we have the conversation. I just trust that they're going to join. And if they join, they join. And when that happens and when they're ready, they will. I don't need to chase people down anymore because it's exhausting. But it was in that moment with that client that I had, that ideal client, that I had realized this is not the way to go. Doing this method that I had done for so long put me in burnout, put me in resistance, put me in sales are hard, making money is hard. It was literally exhausting to always be the biz bestie bullshit that people wanted, liked, right? Relatable, so relatable, have conversations with. that was not what got me paid. And there's been multiple instances someone else hired someone else over me because they didn't see me as the leader. They didn't see me as the go-to who's going to change their life. They saw me as relatable. They saw me as Biz Bestie. And so there's a big difference in holding the energy and the standard of being the go-to, being the person that gets results, being the coach and the leader to hire versus just being the person they always go to for value. And I don't want anyone here to get confused that you cannot be a great coach, leader, make impact, get your clients results, love them, know, like truly know who they are if you're not their biz bestie. It just simply doesn't work that way. I love my clients. I give so much to my clients. And I know them, I know their life, their partner, if they single, whatever that is, like I know so much about them or the way that they operate or their background, or even some of them I know a lot about their childhood because it helps me coach them. And I can be a great coach and a great leader and literally love the shit out of my clients and show up for them in that way and still not be their biz bestie that is just so relatable and we're on the same playing field. Because the truth of the matter is nobody wants to hire someone that they don't see levels above them. And we've talked about this a ton on this podcast. Is like people are not hiring people that they think are at the same level or close to the same level as you. They're hiring someone they think is going to get them results. And so that is where authority takes you from that relatable energy, that like everyone love me, people pleasing, being the everything for everyone versus like being a leader, being in your authority energy, being booked the fuck out, being in that energy. That is what we do inside of authority. It is a 12-month coaching container, and we're going to take you from being in the friend zone with your entire audience and being like the relatable community member to literally being the authority and being paid for what you do and making a lot of money. That is what this program is. Enrollment is open. Get in right now, apply immediately, and we will change your life. As soon as you come over to the link, it's down in the show notes. You click it, you go over to the sales page. Immediately, there's a video you can watch when it pops up, and then there's a button that says sign up now. You click that. You can pay in full, which is 5555, or you can do our 12-month payment plan of 497. We also have options like Klarna that you can use to get additional payment plans if you need it. You also have the option to upgrade on that page into Academy for an additional $111 a month for 12 months for lifetime access. Academy is the mental game of high level success. So everything I'm about to tell you today in this podcast is a combination of authority and Academy. Academy is the energetics. It is the mind. It is the way that you create, hold, and sustain success. So we're going to get into what that looks like today. So you can upgrade and get that entire program half off when you join Authority. As soon as you pay, you're immediately going to get your contract and your onboarding form, and then you're going to get a video for onboarding. And it walks you through what to do, the portal, the training, and you get a 3.5 hour video of Inside Authority where I walk you through the entire curriculum with your workbook in 3.5 hours. We tell our students to start here. It takes about 1 to 2 weeks to watch the video, fill out the workbook, and be completely ready to get coaching. For some people, it literally takes 1 day. They're like, I'm doing this in 1 day. I don't need a week. For some people, they're like, I don't have that. Like, I can't sit down for a 3-hour stretch. So I'm going to break it up into 1 to 2 weeks. And then we have 3 calls every single month with me live where you get coaching back and forth. We go around and do hot seat coaching, as well as every month giving you one-to-one audits and feedback. So you submit in anything you're working on. It can be your workbook, your social media, your posts, your emails, your brand, your offers, anything. And I will audit and give it an audit video back to you. And then every quarter, we do a live workshop. So all day, I teach the entire curriculum live. So you get the entire program live again with me. Why we do this is number one, I work with a lot of go-getting women who do not have time to sit through hours and hours and hours of training and videos and put it all together. And I love learning live and I love teaching live. And then when you come into the program, you watch the live version, you fill out that workbook, you get coached on it, and then you come to the next version and you're able to attend live, then we're going to compare your workbooks. And we're going to do this throughout the program, and you're going to see a huge difference between who you were when you started this program and how you operated and the decisions you made and what your business looked like to what it now looks like at the end of the program. And you have actual tangible workbooks to show you everything that's changed. We are up leveling your entire business from your confidence and your energy and your leadership to your offers, your content, your messaging, your brand, the way that you create a community, the way that you get leads and sales in the door, the way that you create sales and a sales experience from Biz Bestie bullshit to booked the fuck out. Join now, link is below. Okay, let's get into today's episode. That was a really long intro. Sorry for that. I've been doing a lot of those lately because I feel like I just have so much to tell you guys. And maybe that is actually my sign to just come on here and chat because whenever I have like, ooh, I have this idea, I want to talk about it with you guys on the podcast. And then it's like, and also I open up the podcast, I open up to record, and I'm like, everything pours out of me. Okay. Today's episode is all about the secret that I've been gatekeeping from you guys for a long time. And I say that lightly because I talked about it, but not in the way I'm going to talk about it today for success. And I find this really interesting that it's coming at this exact time. I think I touched a little bit on it last year, but I'm really going to start deep diving more into this realm. And I'm excited. It goes along the vibe of obviously Breadwinner Energy. It's about your energy. Now, before we dive into this too, we're going to talk about quantum leaping, energetics, and manifestation. We're going to talk about it from a neuroscience perspective. I'm going to also talk to you about it in a way of like coaching, but this is how the brain works, this is how energy works, and it's science backed. So I don't want anyone here to feel like just stick with me, okay? Okay. So the secret that I've been gatekeeping from you is the way to have success, the way to create success in your life, the way to create success in your business is solely through energy. So many people have been told and think still to this day that it is how hard you work or how much you work. And then you get into online business and you realize it's actually not that at all. And if you're still operating from this place of that if you have to work more or you have to work harder to see success, you will run yourself to the ground. And then you will be so frustrated when you've been quote unquote doing all the things and it's not happening for you. It's not working for you. And I have learned year after year after year, the more intentional I am with my energy, the more intentional I am with my personal growth, and the more intentional I am about how I show up in my business, the more money I make, the more success I have, not how much time I sit at my computer and my desk and twiddle around and work with busy work. It's always about the energy behind it. Okay. So I have quantum leaped in my life multiple times and at the time didn't know that's what it was. Way back when I first started my business, I was introduced to manifestation and I didn't even believe it. And I laugh, like looking back at that moment, I laugh because it's just so ironic how this has played out. But I didn't believe in manifestation when someone told me, like, if you think this way and you feel this way, then you can change your whole life. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. That's weird and not true. And because hard work, right? And I finally decided when I hit rock bottom years ago that I would look more into this because like what did I have to lose, right? I felt like I had nothing to lose. I was extremely broke. I was going through a divorce. I was absolutely miserable, depressed, upset. I hated my life. And I so badly wanted a different life for myself. It's like, what do I have to lose? I'm going to just look into this. And the more I looked into it, the more I was like, okay, I'm not sure that I totally believe this, but also, what do I have to lose? Again, let's just try it out. So I was willing to think and feel differently, pretend, so to speak, to change my outcome and see what happened. Now, I also want to say that early on in childhood, I always believed I would be successful from a very young age. I had always said I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be rich. Back then, I wanted to be famous. Now I'm like, there's no way. I would never want to be famous. But I wanted to be rich and successful. And from a very young age, I always thought I would be. But I had no proof of that. There was no proof in my life or reality that that was going to be happening for me, could happen for me, none of it. But I believed that it would. And even in my younger days, like 18, 19, college era, still, like I had this weird feeling or belief that I was going to have like this big life and be super rich. But again, I had no idea why I thought or felt that. I just did. And then I dropped out of college, right? Wrecked my credit. Like I had done all the opposite things of success. So again, there's just like no proof in the world to show me this can happen for me, but it was still something I was like willing to believe, which was just so strange. But again, in the moment, like looking back hindsight now, I'm like, wow, that's incredible that I was able to do that. But in the moment, I didn't realize that's what I was doing. And so I didn't believe in manifestation and I decided to like go down this rabbit hole. So I was doing lots and lots of like researching and looking and trying and affirmations, like all the things when you first get into manifestation, like the very surface level, right? Stuff. Like you think it, feel it, whatever. So then it wasn't until 2021 when I went to six figures in 6 months after being stuck at 50, 60, 70K. Like I was stuck there for years. I could not surpass it. And I was working really, really hard. And it was one of those things where it was kind of like I wasn't staying in the energy of having or like staying in the energy of manifesting and believing. It was kind of like I was constantly like wavering and continuing to go back to working hard, like going back to what I always knew. And so it wasn't until 2021 when I hired the coach, invested 10K, and was like, I'm going to hit six figures this year. I'm just going to do it, period, point blank. And there was some strategy involved there because I hired a coach and I created a group coaching program. But outside of that, it was solely belief and energetics. It was solely that I know for a fact this is going to happen for me. I have no idea how, but I just believe it will. And I'm just going to show up and be my authentic self. And I'm going to sell my offer like I love this offer because I do. I was so excited about the offer and it's going to happen for me. And it did. But again, in that moment, it was one of those like quantum leap things. Fast forward to now, and I have like a full grasp. I've skipped some things on purpose here. And I have like a full grasp on manifestation. I have a full grasp on quantum leaping. And I've also been through life coach certification. In life coach certification, you learn a lot about the models, what it's called there, which is the way that you think, the way that creates the way that you feel, the way that you feel creates the way that you act or don't act, which creates your reality, which creates your results, regardless of circumstances. And that everyone has this available to them, regardless of circumstances. You have it available to you to change the way you think. And if you can change the way you think and feel and act, you will change your reality, but it will require you to think and feel and act differently before that reality manifests. And this is the part that people miss. People wait for results, wait for money, wait for clients before they do something about it. And it doesn't work that way. And this is the number one thing that holds people back from being able to manifest their dream reality or quantum jump. It's that they think the reality will happen to them, their circumstances will happen to them first, then they will change. And it doesn't work that way. So many people are unable to bypass that part and be able to think and feel and act as if now to have it. So, what I've told so many clients is if you want to manifest a different reality, you have to act as if you already have it. You already have the money, you already have the clients, you already have the things. And whenever I say this, the number one thing that's told back to me is, but I don't have the money to do the things. Here's what I want to tell you. Acting as if you do have it is energetic. You energetically can tap into the same thoughts, feelings, emotions, and actions that you would if you did have it. So let's take, for example, okay, you want to sign 5 clients into your high ticket coaching program. Right now, the circumstance is that you don't have 5 clients and you're thinking to yourself, I really need 5 clients. The energy of wanting and needing is putting out that you do not have it. So it's putting out a repellent and you're feeling like desperate. The wanting and needing feeling of like, I really, really want it to happen. I know it will happen, but subconsciously you like kind of don't know. Subconsciously you're kind of like, I don't know if it will happen. I want it to, but I don't really know if I believe it. You're not acting as if you already have it. You're acting as if it's something out in the future that you have not obtained yet. And so then you have this feeling of desperation. You have this feeling of like maybe even resistance. You have this feeling of like frustration. So what do? You go out and post more. You go out and show up more and you're like attacking and coming at your audience, and your audience can feel it through your energy. I can watch someone's social media and see the way that their body movement and their words and the way that they're like pushing their shoulders towards the camera. It's like that it's an energy that you can feel of like pushing and needing. You can literally feel it through someone's energy. And they're like, you can tell when they're like yelling at their audience versus like energetically being in that magnetic energy of knowing. There is an energetic difference that you can see. And as soon as you see it, you'll never unsee it. And every time you come across someone's content or page, you will see the difference between them energetically shouting and like pushing towards the camera and that needy, graspy energy versus being shoulders back, relaxed, knowing, and confident. And so the reality of it is what will happen is that you will still be wanting and needing at the end of this model that we've just created. You'll still be wanting and needing clients that they haven't came to yet because you're not in the same energetic space as if you were or if you already had 5 clients. See, there's a difference in your energy. The energy of wanting and needing versus the energy of having, which is readily available to you now. Okay. So then if you have the same circumstance that you haven't signed any clients and you want to sign 5 high ticket clients and you think to yourself, I am capable of signing 5 clients in one day. I am capable of signing high ticket clients all the time. It is inevitable that I'm going to sign these clients. It's not even a question. And you feel like the energy of expansiveness. You feel the energy of knowing, of confidence. You feel the energy of like it's done. You can relax. You feel at peace. How do you show up then? Show up confidently. You talk to your audience from a space of like leadership and confidence and knowing. You don't have to yell at them. You don't have to convince them. You don't have to drag them and chase them down. You just know when people come to my page and they see my energy and they see my leadership and they see my knowing, I am the obvious choice. And I know that. And then the result is that you attract in those 5 clients because you already know that it's already done. And there's a big difference in those two energy fields. And this is what quantum jumping is. You can literally quantum jump in one day, in the same day. Because the truth is, in the quantum field, there's already a version of you that exists that has 5 clients today. You have to be an energetic match for that reality. And right now, you're not an energetic match for that reality because you subconsciously believe it will take a long time. It won't happen for me. It's not going to happen yet. I want it and need it. And you're pushing that reality away instead of embodying it. And so I say that this is a big secret. It's not really a secret, right? This information is everywhere and readily available to you. But I tell you that this is a secret because in coaching, in the coaching and the business space, when I tell people it's energetic, it is mental, and that's what has to change for you. And I can give you the strategy. I can give you strategies all day long. But if you don't approach it with the correct energy, it's not going to happen for you. And that is exactly why in my group coaching containers, the same program, the same process, the same framework, I can take 50 clients through it, and only a portion of them are going to get the results, and a portion of them won't. And the exact reason why is energetics. The reason that some will and some won't is an energy change. And so for me, when you're going to find a coach in the industry and let's say you want to make 6 figures, you're going to find the coach that tells you that she's going to help you make 6 figures. And then you're going to go to her program and she's going to give you the strategy that she used to get to 6 figures or that her clients used to get to 6 figures. But if she doesn't teach you the energetics of 6 figures or how you use your energy for 6 figures, you are missing more than half of what you need to actually get there. So you either need to know how to do that on your own without her coaching container, or you need to find someone who does both. And I have taught for a very long time that it's both. It is the energy and it is the strategy. And people don't want to hear it. People are like, just tell me what to do. Tell me that I can work more. Tell me how to work harder and I'll do it. And that's the problem. And this was me. This was me in 2021 when I had coach after coach tell me it is your mindset, it is your energy. And I was like, no, because I know that I want six figures. I know that I can have six figures. I want it so bad. And they were like, it's still your mindset and your energy. And I was like, no, it isn't. Like you could not have convinced me back then that it was, because I truly believed I wanted it. I'm willing to do anything to have it. Tell me what to do and I will do it. And if I had the strategy, then it would happen for me. And that was not the thing that got me to six figures. Yes, the strategy is a piece that is important. Yes, you need to know what to do, but you have to approach it from that energy. You have to approach it of the energy of knowing, of having, of confidence and leadership. And on my Instagram, I also posted too, like a graphic, a difference in my, even just like my images. You can literally see the difference in my energy between the two images, which is wild to look at the energy of being the nice girl, the biz bestie, being the like everybody like me and I love everyone versus like the confident, knowing leadership, owning your shit energy. The words that come out of your mouth do not matter in the online space if your energy reeks of desperation. I need you to hear that. The words don't matter. The words that come out of your mouth don't matter if your energy reeks of desperation. If you consistently, truly, deep down, don't actually believe it can happen for you, you're still wanting and needing and pushing it away and not embodying the reality of having it now, that will be the reason you don't have it every single time, regardless of the strategy, regardless of the pushing, regardless of the hard work. And when you can master this effectively, it will change your whole fucking life and it will blow your mind. And that is why I created Breadwinner Energy Academy, the mental success, the energetics of success, the manifestation, the quantum leaping, the embodying, and the knowing is so important. And in authority, I'm going to give you the strategy. And yes, we're going to talk about confidence and the way that you embody and the way that you embody that confidence and the way you embody your brand and your offers and the knowing, like we're going to do that. But I cannot also put into that program how to manifest and quantum leap because it takes a different, right? If I added that in, there would just be so much for you to learn and master and embody all in one program. And so that's why I have Academy as a secondary program to put together with this program. And that's why I also give it to you 50% off when you bundle the two, because it is both pieces all at once. The knowing, the feeling, the embodying with the doing. And when you master this, you will change your whole life. Okay? As always, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of my life, my community, and go get an authority, get Academy 50% off, and let's change your whole life. Let's take you from Biz Bestie to book the fuck out, and let's take you from hustling and needing and convincing to having, to being in your confident leadership era, your I make a lot of fucking money era, and I make a lot of impact, and I'm living my dream life. Okay, see you.